So that's what James is having. It's mostly a beet salad, but there's some nasturtiums in there and spinach and rice and whatever, lots of stuff. So I'm going to be talking about Free Guy, which got top of the stack, Extraordinary, which I had a hard time deciding which one was going to be top of the stack. They're both great. And if you just set it wherever.
I'll just wait.
And what's this one called? Something 666. Studio 666. And this has the Foo Fighters. It's interesting. Very. I gave it third in the stack, so it's pretty good. Weird Al Yankovic, UHF, Current Revolution, Where There Once Was Water, CSI. This, I'm talking about seasons 9 and 10 in this one. Shuttlecock and World Ends at Camp Z got the bottom of the stack rating for me. And I have a bird talking to me right now.
Yeah.
They're almost out of food again. I think the bird is saying, top it up!
And of course, when we planned this, there was no snow. It was perfectly clear.
I know, but now it's starting to snow. Yep.
And it kind of was for a while.
Anyway, I'm going to talk about.
We'll have to cut this short so I can fry.
Yeah.
I don't know how badly the snow is going to come down, but I don't like the look of it.
So I'm going to talk about the movies first, and then I might get to talking about. Sorry. Those ones, the documentary ones. And I was going to talk about another Qigong thing, but unfortunately I had to return it to the library. Somebody else had it on hold, so I'll have to take that out again, because it's not a new thing. The library's had that one for quite a while, so I will get a chance to talk about it a little bit later. So, Free Guy.
They even have Qigong in Germany. I found it in a German crossword.
Alright, well I'm going to take my glasses off because they're fogging up again.
There we go. It's getting cold.
So, Free Guy. This has Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, he's Canadian, I think.
Oh, is he?
From Vancouver somewhere.
Well, I
find him funny.
Yeah, I like him a lot too. And he did a great job in this. Everyone did a great job in this. There's a common theme with a few of these things, and I guess maybe I'll just let you guys figure it out. I don't know, but this story it's about a video game, but really it's about real life. So there's the cool people wearing the sunglasses in this town called Free City, and then there's the other people who they're not cool guys. They work at the bank, security guards, whatever. They're just average people, right? And they don't wear the sunglasses. And the cool guys that wear the sunglasses, you don't talk to them if you're not a cool guy. And they're around. They just do whatever they want. They're free to do whatever they want in this city. They blow up things, kill people, and everyone's, the people who aren't cool, who aren't wearing the sunglasses, they're just fine with it. They're like, this is just how life is, right? And so it kind of, there's a lot of people like that. They talk about freedom, and they want their freedom to do whatever. And you think, okay, yeah, we should have freedom, free speech for sure. We should have there's a lot of freedoms we should have, but
freedom of
if
association.
Your freedom is imposing on other people's freedom, if it's taking freedom away from other people for you to have, then that's something to consider, right? So, and why should the people that are blowing up the streets and doing, robbing banks, why should they be free to do that? They shouldn't, right? Because that's taking freedom away from other people. So anyway, so that's basically the story here, and eventually, at first the characters that are not cool guys, not sunglasses guys, they just go along with it, whatever. And then all of a sudden, Ryan Reynolds' character, he wakes up, right? He's like, No, I want to talk to that girl with the sunglasses. And I'm going to do this instead or whatever, right? And so he starts having freedom. He starts saying, no, I'm tired of not having freedom. And he starts having the freedom. He allows himself to actually do some other things, you know, and he's doing these things to try to impress the girl, you know, because he's in love with her, but whatever. So it's a great story. It's really well done. I wouldn't have thought that I would give a video game sort of idea for a movie on top of this act, but wow, they did a great job. So, and it's an important message. Extraordinary. And this is really about, it's the same sort of theme. I guess I'm kind of giving it away. They're trying to say, well, extraordinary, but really these are extraordinary people. These are just average sort of people. And it just so happens that one of them can see ghosts and whatever, can communicate with them and exorcise them, whatever. But she's just an average person. She's very extraordinary. It just, she has this one little thing, right? And it's funny. There's the actor there's a similar actor in both of these things. And this is, in this one there's a washed up rock star who's a Satanist, and he's going to do a virgin sacrifice so that he can get back on the blood moon, so that he can get back his fame, right? And in this story, he's a wannabe rock star, right? He's made a CD that he wants these real rock stars, the Foo Fighters, to look at, and he's a food delivery person in this, which is great. So these ones both have the same actor, and I loved him in these. He was funny. And this one's set in Ireland, and I love the dry humor. It is excellent. It's so good. There's one line in it. I wrote it down because it was awesome. So my favorite line from Extraordinary is, "What if you end up some crazed sex maniac living on the streets and snorting hash?" It was so awesome because it's just the father in this was telling his, you know, he's upset with his daughter, right? She's a teenager and she's getting into all sorts of trouble or whatever he worries that she is. And here she ends up getting into trouble, but it's not her fault, right? So anyway, I thought that was awesome. It's the kind of thing an out of touch, an extraordinary father who knows nothing about drugs, right? He's a nice guy who hadn't done stuff like that himself. It's the kind of thing you'd say, right? He doesn't know. He's heard of hash, but he doesn't know that, no, you don't snort hash. So it's great. And there's so many great things about this movie. It's the kind of humor that I prefer, the dry stuff that, you know, it slips by a lot of people. And they did it top notch. Such a great job. So, and since I have Studio 666 up next, I'll say my favorite line. It was near the beginning, and it was the character who'd done Norm from Cheers. Oh. He's in this, and he says this line: "Blow your own dick right back in your mouth like it's been there before." What kind of goal is that? It was awesome. I love it. Like, I guess, you know, you'll get it more when you hear the whole thing, because that's just, his was the climax of the discussion, right? It was excellent. So, anyway, that's that. And I'm going to stick this back over there, because this stuff is getting in my way. So, this one, yeah, I never would have, I guess maybe the Foo Fighters were thinking, well, if Rob Zombie can make movies, why can't we? I don't know what made them decide to do this. But honestly, are these guys, are they openly gay?
Foo Fighters.
Like 3 of the guys in here seem like, I don't know, pretty Homoslavian accent, but maybe I don't know. I mean, I would think that that's
They might be
something that
playing
they would-
around or something like that.
that they'd promote that.
What was his name? The guy
A lot of people do promote
who
that.
was in Nirvana, who offed himself about 93. What was his name?
Kurt Cobain?
Yeah, so Nirvana, Dave Grohl was the drummer for Nirvana.
Oh, really?
And now he's, I think, the lead singer and lead guitarist
Yeah,
in Foo Fighters. So now Kurt Cobain would walk around in dresses as I think it's a sign of solidarity
Okay.
with gay men or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Well, yeah, he seemed very gay to me. But
Who?
I don't-
Kurt Cobain?
no, Dave Grohl?
Okay.
Is that his name?
Dave Grohl, something like that.
Anyway,
Seems like a very German name.
but I have no idea. And also the East Indian man, he seemed very gay to me. But he had a scene in this where he's getting it on with the neighbor lady and stuff, and it's like, I don't know if I believe that, but it was funny. There was I liked a lot of things about this movie. There were some snappy lines. There were some. It was a funny kind of horror movie. You know, they're playing themselves in this, right? They're rock guys, and there was a little too much. Well, a lot too much of the rock playing music for me, because I don't like the band, but I don't
haven't
like
heard
their
much
music.
Foo Fighters,
Well,
but
and
it's kind of nondescript.
well, yeah,
rock.
it says here they're recording their 10th album in this, and I'm like, wow, so that's probably real. They probably have already made 9 albums. But I don't.
They
I
base
couldn't
it.
tell you what one of them, what any of their songs are like, or whatever. It just.
I've probably heard tons of them on the radio, and they're just pretty nondescript. Maybe they got some nice lyrics or something.
Well, I
don't
guess people must like them if they've made 10 albums or 9
Yeah.
or whatever.
So I think that's roughly one every other year since roughly the mid-90s. I presume that's when.
But yeah, this
Dave Grohl
actually,
from the
I liked these guys. Like, I liked all of the characters. They were playing themselves, and I liked them, right? So this made me actually like the Foo Fighters more, in spite of the fact that I don't like their music. I'm like, wow, I would like to see more Foo Fighters movies, because these guys are great. They were really great
Yeah, I
in front of the
suspect they're
camera. They did a
relatively
great job.
intelligent.
So anyway, I don't really have much to say about that. It's a fun, kind of cheesy horror movie, whatever. Weird Al Yankovic UHF. Now this one was from quite a while ago, 1989, and it has so many faces you'd recognize in it. Like, well, I was talking to James about it, and you see on the cover there's the guy who played Kramer from Seinfeld, and Fran, what's her name? The nanny?
Drescher?
Drescher.
It means thresher, I think, in German.
Okay.
Thrasher.
So anyway,
Originally, it was the same word. I'm pretty sure.
I hadn't known that Weird Al made movies. So this is another. We're talking about rock stars, or I don't know. Can you call Weird Al that? Who made movies, and here he is. And in this one, he's playing you see him as a fry cook. He's in a flipping burgers and whatever in a fast food restaurant, and he's not good at it. He's like, the fries are burning, and his coworker's like, you gotta get your head out of the clouds and, you know, pay attention to your work and stuff. And so he gets let go from that job, right? He's so bad at it. And he's like, one day all of these employers, like, he's lost so many jobs just in the past month. It's because he's not doing them. And one day these employers are going to recognize, you know, my creative talent and this and that, right? So it has also, what's interesting, it has Brass from CSI is in this. And so the character that is played by that actor, he's with Weird Al's mom in this. So that's Weird Al is played by George Newman, and I love the name George. It's very down to earth. And Newman, that's great. He's Newman. Anyway, so but the brass guy, he gives Weird Al a studio to manage because he's wanted in a poker game or something like that, a TV studio, and it's like it's going to be shut down in a week or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I see what you could do with that. So Weird Al ends up hiring Kramer, who's not Kramer in this. I can't remember what his name is, but he's a janitor, and the nobody likes watching any of the shows that Weird Al is programming or starring in or whatever, but as soon as he puts the guy who plays Kramer on, then everyone loves him. So, which is funny because in Seinfeld everyone loved Kramer. I don't know why, because he's not a good actor. But and in this one, he's playing a really low IQ sort of janitor. I mean, he's really not bright, but everyone loves him, and so because everyone loves him, the station ends up being more successful, and they sell out shares to the public to try to raise money to keep the station going, and everyone is living off the back of this one janitor man. Really, he's the only reason that they're successful, and really, that's pretty true to life, you know? The people who think that they're creative geniuses that can't manage to hold down a job because they won't do the work, they end up living off the backs of the people who work. Yeah. People like the janitors. So
they're not geniuses. You got to be.
Yeah.
You got to work.
You got to work if you want to be.
I've got to pull a plug here. I'm getting cold, and I don't want to exacerbate the condition that I've got.
CSI seasons 9 and 10 were terrible. At the end of season 8, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning to zip ahead or turn it off now. At the end of season 8, Warwick died. And at the beginning of season 9, there's like a mass exodus from CSI. You have Sarah Seidel, her character leaves, and Grissom, his character, Grissom leaves eventually. So he then, I can't remember Morpheus's character's name. I can't remember the actor's name, but he was Morpheus in The Matrix, and so that's what I know him as. So he ends up working for the crime lab in CSI, and there's so many things wrong with this season. There's one woman who starts on, and then she's gone for season 10. At the beginning of it, they're like, yeah, she quit and she left because of this and that and whatever, and it's like, oh wow, just all of a sudden she's gone, right? So there's season 9 is just, I don't know what made people want to leave, but I do know the writing really went downhill. There was no mystery. Basically, I'd see, oh yeah, this guy's shown right away, and this guy's he's gonna be the killer or whatever. He's like, there's no mystery here. It's very poorly written in season 9 and season 10, and they gave some people were given lines that other people should have had, like, and some people were given things like the Morpheus. He was at one point he's trying to impress David Hodges in the crime lab, and he says, like, he figures out how he solves how the killer had used a cornmeal bomb or something like that, and it's like, okay, but he's supposed to be a doctor, he's supposed to be a medical doctor, so How does he know about that stuff? He just happened upon it? Like, this is ridiculous. And why would he know about it and not Hodges? Hodges is, as much as people don't care for him, he's a bright guy, right? So it didn't make sense. There was a lot of that. Honestly, I couldn't stand watching season 9 and 10. It was terrible. It was so terrible. And I wonder how much they had to pay Sarah Seidel and whatever the actor who plays Grissom. Wonder how much they had to pay them to come back, because it was falling apart here. I can't even believe they managed to hold this show together, because season 9 and 10 were that bad. Shuttlecock. This was so boring that I barely watched it. It's sort of historical-ish, but nobody cared. World Ends at Camp Zed. This was so bad. I had hopes for it. It's a homemade sort of Canadian. It must have been set in Quebec. I mean, they were making like it was. So, and I don't doubt that it was. It probably was. So, why would they make like it was set in Quebec and not have it made there? Anyway. So I wanted to like it because I like watching Canadian content, but this was so bad. There was no reason for, like, they could have made a better story, you know, made some reason for whatever, but it's just a zombie sort of pandemic kind of movie, whatever, and it's at the end there's really no reason why. There's no reason for the story at all. It's just dumb. Just dumb. And I'll talk about those other things later because I'm still too cold to sit out here and talk about them.